Floss, quiet now, darling. Okay, let's get set up. Hi everybody, welcome to Monday's live. I've got my hat on today because it's so cold out here. I'd have a scarf on and gloves if it meant that I could craft, but it just gets in the way. So good morning, happy Monday. Here's to another week. 2 weeks till Christmas. Where's the time going? Still got my eldest off school. She's actually behind me doing some times tables, so you might hear a little bit of her chanting. I know she's doing Prodigy. I don't know what that is, but she's quite happy. I hope you're all okay. Love the hat. Yeah, it's a big hat. It's my school run hat, but there's no school run at the moment, but it's freezing out here. And I've got my little dachshund on. Christmas is definitely here. So I hope you're all sitting nice and comfortably. Thank you to everyone who joined me last night for some Pampered Pets stamping. I'm going to play with some of the DSP today. I've had a look and I do have enough. So looking forward to showing you all that. I'll make 2 cards for you this morning. And I hope you can chat along with me. Love to know your feedback as we go along, and let's get started. So I'm just going to pause the video, switch my camera around, and then we'll get stamping. So bear with, guys. So, a bit of Pampered Pets fun this morning. This is actually the Playful Pets suite, and I keep saying Pampered Pets, Playful Pets because they're both the same thing really. So I showed you this last night. It's on page 40 of the annual catalogue. Beautiful colours. I'll show you the DSP in more detail in a moment. But it's gorgeous colours, lovely, lovely patterns, and really fun images in this suite. And of course there is a little dachshund, which makes my heart happy. This is a stamp set we used last night, but I'm just going to use the DSP today and maybe the sentiment from the stamp set. Okay, so we'll get started. I haven't got a card design to show you because I haven't made one yet. I'm going to wing it / create with you. So these are the designer series papers. You get, they're 12 inch by 12 inch in size, and you get 2 of each design. So cute kitties. Here, I love little grumpy cat. I think I'm grumpy cat today. Some really lovely complementary patterns to go with the animals. More cute kitties, and some lovely, I think they're whiskers or claw marks, I'm not quite sure. Lovely dogs. He's so fun. He's saying throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. And then on the back we've got some paw prints, some nice red and white stripes. That's really subtle, that pattern, but I like it. More doggies, and of course the cute little dachshund. And there's our tramp from last night from the card. It goes with the stamp set. Him there. And then some dog bowls and some words. So lots of patterns. 2, 3, 4. There's only 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 sheets there. I've missed one. Have I used it? I probably have used it. Let me see. It's the one with some white wording on. Oh, here it is. So I've got a small piece left because I've used so much of this set. It's black and white words. It goes with the cats, and on the back is some little food bowls. So super cute patterns. So I'm not going to use this whole sheet, so I'm going to use some of the offcuts that I've got left over. So just put those down there. I have gone ahead and already fussy cut quite a few of these pets. They fussy cut really, really nicely, and I've just left a little border of white around them. Oh, I've missed his whiskers. And I've also cut off some of the ones that are on the edge of the papers because you can use those as well. There's a couple of card designs that I've done already. I won't show you how to make these, they're quite straightforward, but I'll make something different. So these ones here that are tucked underneath are actually kind of edges of the animals. They're kind of half animals, and then here is the big fella. Lovely Alsatian looking up. So really, really fun. The DSP is really easy to use, and the list is endless of what sort of cards you can create. So I've got a grey granite card base here. It's one from last night that I've got left over. So we'll just score that nicely, and let's just use some of this DSP that I've already got cut. So this is just lovely, lovely DSP. So DSP stands for Designer Series Paper, and you really don't need much at all. That card is a bit wonky actually. Let's just check the measurement on that. So it should be 10.5. It is, but it's not quite. Must have been an odd piece of card that I had somewhere. So we have a C6 card base, and I've got here some of the black and white wording which goes with the dogs, because it says bark, woof, dig, chase, scratch, wag, play. And I'm going to mount this onto some white. Okay. So let's check our measurement of our DSP scrap that I've got here. So let's take that down to 7.5 centimetres so we can work with that measurement, and we'll cut it down to 14.9, which is the height of our card. And that's a really cute little extra piece you could add to another card. So that's 7.5. So we'll take this down to 8 by 14.9. So that's just a little bit wider. And now when you pop that on your card, it just pops that little bit more than if it was on there without. So it looks fab without it. If you want to make it stand out a little bit more, just add a little layer underneath. And I haven't gone up too much at all. It's just 0.5 centimetre bigger. And it just makes that DSP, just elevates it a little bit. Okay. So let's just stick this on. You okay, Floss? She's just plugging in her iPad. You alright? Do you want some help? Do you want some help? Okay. So, I'll pop this on here. There's lots of inspiration for this suite on Pinterest. All you need to do is just type in the name of the suite, and all these cute little faces pop onto the screen. Okay, so there we have our base layer there, and now to think about adding some pets. Let's see which ones we can use. So I've not got many doggies left, but I've not used this chap, and he's really, really fun. I think he's a Great Dane. Well, he looks a bit Great Dane-y. You could always add kind of one little fella like that, kind of looking behind. We might add him inside actually, because he's quite fun. So let's use him, and he goes really nicely with the colours that we've got there as well. So, thinking about adding a die cut for a sentiment on, I used these last night. These are the Stitched So Sweetly dies. And they are great for adding kind of labels to your cards and background pieces. So let's use this one. This is just a little die cut, which is good for adding a sentiment on. I've got here the Itty Bitty Birthdays stamp set. Really useful, lovely sentiments. So let's see which one fits. So Happy Day would fit. So Exciting would fit. Cheers to You just about fits. So some of them are a bit. Time to Celebrate. I quite like Time to Celebrate. Or You're Growing Up. That would work, wouldn't it? But he's just a little bit too big. Let's go with Time to Celebrate. Okay. Floss, will you do Mummy a job, please? Yeah. I've got a little helper today. It's brilliant. Can you just wheel that trolley over for me? Yeah. Thank you. Could get used to this, couldn't I? Maybe it's a way of her earning her pocket money.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. Very kind. I'll pay you later.
$100.
Dollars? Since when are we working in dollars? Okay. So, bringing in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I previewed this last night. So this is the smaller version of the big guy. It's available to pre-order for demonstrators at the moment, or you can pre-order it. Sorry, you can order it from January as a customer. Okay, so I'm just putting that on some Whisper White. Actually, no, let's stamp that first. This is the joy of live crafting. You get to see me faff, and I do faff a lot. So exciting.
She does.
We'll just pop that down.
She does a lot.
Thanks, Floss. Okay, and then before we die cut that out, we'll just secure that with a bit of washi. Like so. And now we can pop that on our plates. Apologies for it making the screen wobble. So exciting, that's cute like that. So now we can kind of build our little card up. Let's see what thread we've got. Have we got any thread over here? I've only got a little bit of black and white. Let's add a different colour to that, shall we? What I'd really like to love is some linen, to add some linen thread, but I've run out and I'm still waiting for some to arrive. Okay, so I've got here this little one, quite like that, but actually that's quite big to add under there. Yeah, let's not use that one. Let's stick him down first. So I'm going to stick him down flat. I'm going to add my sentiment with some dimensionals to raise. Just used a little bit of wet glue. And he can go on there. He's so cute. And then we've got so exciting.
Are you so excited then?
No. And let's add that under there. So just folded that little piece of twine in half, and I'm going to stick that down with just a little bit of tear and tape. Just going to peel the back, fold that bit back over like so, so it doesn't stick out, and then we can pop that on with some dimensionals. So with dimensionals, I'm just going to take off this little top bit here and stick it in there, just to kind of fill in the gaps, and then in the bottom we'll take that off as well. And then let's trim that bit down and trim these edges down as well. It frays really nicely, this what am I saying, the twine, it frays really, really lovely. So there we have So Exciting. So that's quite a simple card design for that one. All we need to do is add our layer inside. So we'll just mirror the layer that we've got on front, which was 8 centimetres by 14.9. Just take that down. So it says "so exciting" on the front, and I'm going to leave that there because this would be a great card to send someone who has just decided they're getting a new dog, or the dog's done something amazing, dog's had puppies, something like that. You could even send it to a dog. Think about that. And then let's add this little guy. So this little guy has actually come off the edge of the paper, or one of the edges of the paper. So I'm just going to add him like so. I'm just going to trim him down so that he's square. And then he will look like he's on the edge. Love it. I love how his little nose is poking out the side. Okay, so I'm just popping that at the bottom. And there we have our little doggy on the front. So exciting. And then inside as well. So I've added that piece in the middle, the 8cm piece of Whisper White, just so that it mirrors the outside of the card, and that will go nicely with our little set that we're starting to create. Okay, so let's put those to one side now, and we will make another one, and we're going to make one now for all those feline lovers out there. I must admit, I am a cat lover. I have a cat and a dog. I love them both equally, although the dog thinks he's loved more. And she is a real grumpy cat. So let's use the same colour as we've used already. Because we're making this into a little set, I've got 2 Whisper White layers, and I'm going to go with 2 grey granite layers. Okay. So I'm going to start by scoring my card at 10.5 centimetres, and that's with the short edge at the top of my trimmer. And then to cut 2 card bases, I'm lining up at 14.9 centimetres and I'm cutting. So you end up with 2 card bases out of 1 piece of A4. So let's just burnish those edges, make sure that's nice and crisp. Pop that piece to one side. So let's bring in some of this cat DSP. So I've used the stripe. I've got a spot which comes from something different. No, let's use Whisper White as our background. I think I know what I want to do. So let's take a piece of Whisper White, and we'll cut that down. And we're going to take 1 centimetre off of that measurement of the card front. So this card front measures 10.5 centimetres, 10.5 centimetres by 14.9. So let's take it down to 9.5 centimetres by 13.9 centimetres. Okay. Let's bring in all these lovely pussycats. So again, these have all been cut from the DSP. I think I like this little fella quite a lot. Let's have a couple of these ones, and this one, and then we've got this lovely black cat as well. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually adding these to the card, like so, to add a whole layer, whole sheet of cats. So a little bit like the DSP. I'm just being careful not to use all of the ones that I love. And what else can we add? I don't want to use Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat is too nice to be used. Let's put her down there, him up there, and then we've got one left. Let's use this one down here. Okay, so we're going to stick those on. So I'm going to just use my wet glue for this. Grumpy Cat is my absolute favourite, if I haven't said that already. I'm just pushing him up to the edge of the paper. Sticking them all back down. I could have just used the DSP, couldn't I? Thinking about it, but I'd already cut all these little fellas out. That one's actually on there twice. I do like this one. This one's very, very cute. That's it. Like so. So that's quite funny actually, isn't it? That little card. And then if I've got any more left, which I do, I don't really want to add any more on. I think that's it for now. Okay, so let's stick that onto our card front, and I'm going to stick that down so it's nice and flat. What I am going to do is I'm going to add a little hand drawn line. So I'm going to use this Stampin' Right marker, okay, and I'm just going to doodle a little line around the edge of my card, just to make this layer kind of stand out a little bit. Like so. My pen is running out. Stampin' Right markers are great because you've got them as a felt tip kind of end as well as this fine pen end as well. So they're really handy. You can buy them. You can buy the black ones separately, but the others you buy as sets. So there we have our little cat, an array of cats. Let's have a little die here. Let's use this one. So do we want this out of white? Yeah, let's do this out of white. But before we stick that down, let's do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to stamp this in grey granite. Grey granite. I'm not quite sure what the right word is. So let's do a little bit of happy birthday stamping. So I'm just going to stamp a selection of sentiments on here. Let's do Time to Celebrate because I've already got that one. Oh, so exciting.
Yes. Yes.
Let's add Happy Day. My blocks need a good old clean this week. We'll have Let's Celebrate You. This is just another way of adding sentiments to your cards if you can't choose. And then we'll just do a little bit of repeating.
Yay!
And then the idea is I'm going to die cut that piece out. Oh, the little pussycat is attached to my block. So let's see if that die cut will now fit over. And it will, but let's just stamp another one down here. So that should give us a nice amount of repetition. I've only put Let's Celebrate You on there once. Let's add that up there. Perfect. So we have our little stamping selection there, and now what we can do is we can pop our die cut on, secure that down with some washi. I was really excited this week because washi tape was on the clearance rack, so I was able to stock up. Did anyone else stock up on anything? Trim this down so it will go through our mini die machine. Pop our next plate on. Take this off. Carefully take off your washi tape so you don't damage the card. And then we'll just pop out our there we have it. So we have a little bit of stamping like so, and I think I'm going to put a layer of black under there because it doesn't really stand out very much. I don't know, we're covering up some of those kiddies.
That looks like a D with a...
Okay, might cut that down actually. Just getting some black card stuff. Here we go. So let's cut a little bit of black to go under that. So how wide is that? That is 7. Let's cut it down to 5. Trim that down there like so. And let's trim Let's Celebrate You off as well. So the idea being that if you trim it down you can make it smaller. So let's like so. Let's add that to our card front now. Find my dimensionals on my messy desk. I'm going to cover up that one that's on there twice. So there's the bottom part, and then this is our top. Just line it up so that it matches, so your pattern matches down the side. And then let's do a little bit of heat embossing. Let's heat emboss Happy Birthday, shall we? Just realised there's a bit of black cardstock under there. So we need a verse mark. Just going to clean off my little stamp. Oh, we need to use our embossing buddy first so that we get a nice crisp, clean image. Or add that into our embossing powder. That just picks up the powder. Give it a little tap, and then we'll heat that with our heat tool to set the embossing powder. Starting to go now, there we go. So when it sets, you see it change. It goes to a really bright white, and it goes almost glossy. So you know when that's set, like so. And then we're going to trim that down, and I'm going to use the classic label punch for this. This is a really handy punch. I'm going to line that up in there like so. It's a perfect size. And now we can add our happy birthday to the centre. And it looks like that was there all along. So it's the perfect size. Let's add that with a little bit of Tombow. So we have it like so. Then to finish off, if you wanted to, you could add another little die cut cat, like so, or you can just leave it as it is. And I think I'm going to leave that as it is because I think that's a really fun looking card. All we need to do is add our piece in the middle. So let's do that now. So I'm just going to take my Whisper White, and the measurement we had was 9 by 13.9. Take that down to 13.9, and that was 9.5. Sorry, not 9. It was a centimetre smaller. Okay, and then that can go inside like so. And then to finish off, I'm going to add those few sentiments to the centre. So we'll have happy birthday. That's wonky. We'll have so exciting. I'm now going to put them deliberately at an angle so that that happy birthday doesn't look awkwardly wonky. And then the last one we had was let's celebrate you. Okay, and then over the top we can add a little pussycat. Should really be this guy, shouldn't it? Like so. So there we have our second card of the day all done.
Oh my gosh,
We'll just close that. Okay, so there we have our second card of the day all finished. We bring it in at the first one that we made. So we made one with the doggies. So we've used this lovely Great Dane here. We've used those Stitch So Sweetly dies here just to add our sentiment. And then we've added this little cutie pie inside our card. And then our second one, we've used the cat. So I've fussy cut all the cats out, and then I've stuck it back on. I could have just used the DSP, but I'd already cut them out. I've created a square label with the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I've done a little bit of repetitive stamping, and then inside we've added a little bit more stamping and a cutie kitty. Okay, so that's me finished for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching me create those cards this morning. All of these products you'll find online in the online store, or you'll find them on page 40 and 41 of the annual catalogue. You can place an order 24/7. Remember to use the hostess code if you're shopping online, and you'll receive a free take your pick tool as a gift from me in January, which is super useful. So that's it, guys. If you've got any questions about any of the products or techniques I've used, feel free to drop me a message. My next live will take place on Wednesday evening at 8:30 UK time. And that's it, guys. I hope to speak to you all very, very soon. Have a good few days, and I hope to speak to you all on Wednesday. Take care now. Bye.